Nation and mining family, what's going on out there, guys? Yo, happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. To any of the ladies that might be watching, happy Valentine's Day definitely to you too. And of course, you know, happy Valentine's Day to my awesome wife. So she doesn't feel left out in any way, shape, or form. And of course, I've got my little bro over here coming up visiting for the weekend so that I can play with his 1070 non-TI that he's had it for what, 3 years?
3 or 4 years, yeah.
3 or 4 years. It hasn't. The only time anything got opened up on this card was the clamshell right before it got put in his PC. Is that about right?
Yeah.
So, what's going on, all of you awesome people? We got Jason Osborne, yo, number 1. Yo, I hope you were the first one also to smash that Lizzie like button, and I hope the rest of you do it too. Smash that Lizzie like button, yo. We got the King, yo, what's going on? Bretton Matthews, going on? Bitcoin Jake, yo, my man, what up, what up? Got good old Yashnik, sup. And Crypto, Brenton's like, what's up, man? Been waiting for this vid. Yo, yeah, I do a lot of maintenance vids. I do lots of maintenance vids just because I like pulling apart the hardware. Just saying. So, we're going to do a toss back to the classics and actually do a 1070. I know, it's something that you don't see too much these days, but if you look at the unobtainium new graphics cards, the only thing that's left is the old stuff. The vintage equipment, as they would say nowadays. I mean, so I'm running a bunch of 1070s, but if it hashes and you can get it for a good price, I say go for it if you're wanting to build mining rigs. But at the same time, I wouldn't be FOMOing into building mining rigs either. You know, don't be sitting there going, oh, I gotta capture these ETH gains. One, you don't know how long these ETH gains are going to last for. There's nothing certain about that one. And then, right now, you're paying for a premium even on vintage graphics cards. Stuff that won't even mine. I've been looking at eBay. I look at that stuff all the time, and I've been watching the exorbitant pricings on some of this stuff. Going from a business standpoint, no way. You know, a $200, $200 to $300, you know, a 1070 Ti, sure. $200 to $300, you know, a $300 1070 non-Ti, yeah, do you mind? I paid $300 for a Ti before I ever touch a non-Ti in the 1070 class. But you're paying a premium for all of them. So, I mean, this is like a perfect time for the miners that have had their equipment for the longest time. They've already been slowly getting their hands on some of those unobtainium GPUs and are switching the farm over to more modern stuff, going for the AMD 5700s, you know, going for a 2060 Super or 2060 Ti, you know, going for stuff like that. Perfect. But I wouldn't sit there and, you know, start just grabbing any GPU and paying whatever price. Definitely not worth it, guys. This is a seller's market, not a buyer's market. So just kind of keep that in mind. Dollar cost average, you know, DCA into your rigs, as they say. Jason's like, I keep breaking the like button. Awesome. Kill it. Brenton's like, I just split one 4 gigabyte rig into 2. Yes, I did see you posting that. That's actually pretty cool. With getting over 20 hash per card. Nice. Not bad. It's nice to see those cards still running. Are they going to be a deal breaker to put onto something else? Probably not, if you think about it. Like, a lot of the cryptos in the mineable cryptos in this space are actually doing pretty good. I mean, hell, I happen to look at Vertcoin. Dude, it's going on a tear right now. It's like 80 cents, something right around there. That's pretty deep. The the amount of rigs on Vertcoin are not as big as it used to be. So you can sit there and knock back some blocks on Vert and be, in my opinion, profitable. Ethereum is just showing how profitable you can be under the right circumstances, but once ETH 2.0 rolls out, if you've sat there and gone really heavy into AMD because you're like, I'm going to mine Ethereum and that's all I care about, on the other end, you might be, not doing so good on the other end of it because now you've got something that can only touch stuff with a DAG file. And when those DAG file coins are gone, what are you going to do? You're stuck with graphics cards that are not going to perform as well as NVIDIA. So kind of pick your battles wisely, guys, when you're grabbing GPUs. Why I keep saying don't FOMO into it. Think ahead. Got to think of the long term. So, on other news, though, with your card, what's exactly going on? Tell the audience what was the last time this card hashed before today? Because I got this fucker hashing right now. I'm just saying it's on a 3090 and a 3060 Ti rig, so I'm using CUDA 11 drivers. So of course it's down on hash. I'm getting just like about 27 point limit. I can double check this. Don't trust, verify. 27.39 mega hash. You can see that bad boy. I got it last on the rig, 27.39. It has been mining away for over 2 hours now, which is awesome. Awesome. But about how long ago did you stop mining it?
Stopped mining early 2019. That's when the ashes started.
So he stopped mining when the getting was good. I'm just saying. He did not bring his issues up to my attention beforehand, like really going, hey, let me see what's going on here. We got to get this thing back up and hashing. He's missing Satoshis. So, why did you end up turning it off?
Constant instability would decide to crash every night.
So he was fighting instability. Of course, he's doing this all on that nasty Windows, mining away on Windows. Who does that? I do. I mine on here, so he does too. And what program are you using?
For hashing?
Yeah.
Nice Hash.
Oh, right. So he was using Nice Hack. I mean, we all know our sentiments on that, but I even test on there every once in a blue moon, guys. Full transparency. I do use it occasionally. Now, before you stop mining on it, were you staying on top of all the multiple goddamn updates that Nice Hack has?
Yes.
All right. And you are always running the benchmarks?
Yes.
All right. So, I mean, he was playing the program perfectly. So, I've been mining on it for a couple of hours. Now, I'm not mining on it overnight. I'll have him start mining on it again after today. This way he's not missing out on those crypto gains of beautiful Satoshis. Because, he might be able to get enough Satoshis together mining on this card that he can actually upgrade off the 1070 and maybe get a 1080 Ti or a 1660 Ti or hell, might be able to try to help. I can sit there and tell him the secrets and how to get a 3060 Ti. It's like in his backyard where he can get one. I'm just saying, he's not far from a Micro Center.
No, I'm not actually.
Right. I mean, I can tell him the secret sauce on how to get a 3060 Ti, which is a budget-friendly GPU if you can get your hands on it. Very budget-friendly, even with the tariff taxes going up. But so you stop mining on it, and did the instability issue go away at that point?
Nope.
So now you have this permanent instability issue, and you've been dealing with this for 2 years.
Approaching it, yeah.
So he stopped mining on it, and it still was unstable. So that kind of leads me to think that we have a software issue. There is something that got updated somewhere down the line that either got corrupted or a software really buggered something up, and he needs to add some, maybe do a fresh install. Maybe something didn't get downloaded. Maybe he's missing something. So we will definitely be working with that on his end. I mean, considering that I've had it mining here for 2 hours, almost 2 hours and 20 minutes, stable. So I now know it's not a hardware issue. The temperature on this is 56°C. I've got no assisted fans on it. The fans are running at 75%, and I decided to push the power a little hard. I wanted to see how this thing would work in not so great circumstances. So no extra airflow on it. I mean, it's not sitting next to a cart or anything. It's right behind me. But I've got it at 130 watts, which that's definitely on the high side for a 1070. Typically, I don't go over 120 watts ever on a 1070. My temps stay good even on a 100-degree day outside. 100-degree Fahrenheit. This card won't get over. This card shouldn't get over 65°C on a 100-degree Fahrenheit day. So I'm giving it the worst conditions. So I'm gonna be oh, nice. Yep. Well, Golden Wolf's like I did DDU on his rig before running the 1070 also. And I did mention that this morning. I'm like, you might have to, download DDU. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people actually don't know how to use DDU properly. So, for anybody who doesn't know, that's disk driver uninstall. You can download the program and run it from your Windows desktop, but it's not going to get everything. What you want to do is you want to download that and then boot up into safe mode. This way, when you boot into safe mode, it turns off a lot of the stuff that is just not necessary. And when you run DDU, it actually pulls more of the drivers out of the system. And then when you reboot, it'll reboot into Windows with basic drivers. So, you're going to have that huge, weird, pixelated screen that looks like, Windows XP almost. So you'll have to, and then you go back in there and reinstall the NVIDIA drivers. Don't install the GeForce Experience, guys. That is like unnecessary bloatware on Windows. I stopped using it. It plays with my overclocks and ignores me and overwrites my own personal overclocks. I have more issues running that, and GeForce Experience gave me a few issues mining with it on there too. So I periodically experiment, and I'll put the GeForce Experience. If you have GeForce Experience on there, you can uninstall it very easily, and it does help the computer run better. I swear to God, I have a better experience with it off of my PC, just because GeForce Experience does not know how to overclock. It puts the world's worst generic overclocks on. Yeah, fuck that shit. So whenever it crashes, does it have a pattern to when it crashes? Like, can you tell before it crashes that it's going to crash?
No. However, the programs that I'm usually running are consistent when it does. It's always the same programs that we usually run.
So, is it like a game that's doing it more often, or is it like a combination of having Discord open and watching YouTube?
It might honestly be, considering I would have like all that open, and it would be fine. But then one thing would change, it would decide to die back to 5 minutes.
And when you say die, is it like just shutting the program down?
No, what it would do was I would get black displays, so, and then I would see my system power cycle, telling me that the system probably blue screened, because there's usually like about 7 to 10 second delay before it decides to restart itself. But I can't see the error message because my displays are dead.
Interesting. You see, and that alone seems like software. That alone, that is power cycling, because I've crashed drivers while mining, and like you want to do a reboot after you crash your drivers like this, but I'll watch my whole screen just boop, everything will just black out for a brief moment, and then come back on. Nothing power cycling.
When this problem started happening, that's what it did. It was just the drivers that would go. And it would recover itself. Now it takes the whole system.
See, and that tells me that it lost the driver then. And that's where I'm thinking DDU will solve your issue. So if you need help going through it whenever you're at home, we can do a Discord chat.
Yeah.
And I can help walk you through it. It's quite simple. I mean, literally, you download the program, it's free. You boot your computer up into safe mode. I'm sure you know how to do that.
Been there, done that.
And then you go into, you open up DDU, and you select NVIDIA, uninstall, and restart. Let it run. It'll do its thing. It'll restart your computer, and then it'll put you back up on your normal PC and with basic drivers. And when you download your drivers, do you always do a clean install?
Yes.
You see, even with a clean install, it's not 100% for sure. Because there's multiple programs that are utilizing a lot of the same files. So if they don't change anything in the file, and that file is corrupted, the clean install is not going to download that file a second time, because it's going to look for the header, and it's like, oh, there it is, found it. Go, move on to the next file. And that file could have been corrupted as a motherfucker. You know, it could have seen a funky power cycle. Maybe the driver crashed once during the middle of the night while you were mining on it.
Which it would usually do.
And that's due to it just having too high of an overclock on it. So maybe the overclocks were just a little funky for it.
You did mention earlier that the numbers I was running were incorrect for what I was running it on.
Right. Yeah. Because whenever a couple of years ago, I was in the beginning stages of learning all of this stuff too. I was getting good, but I wasn't perfect. Like, I didn't realize, I didn't think about, oh, wait a minute, I'm running everything in Linux. So all my stuff for Windows is in half. I didn't think about that. So I gave you Linux numbers. I told you the right numbers for memory, but I gave you the Linux core. And I'm like, oh, damn it. Didn't even think about it until he said something. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's a little low. That could cause a little instability. But if it crashed a driver at the same time that one of the files in the driver corrupted, now you're dealing with this issue ever since. I mean, it's very well possible that could have been it. Yeah, Golden Wolf's like, sounds like graphics driver crash. Yeah, mining while you're doing much else can crash miners, for sure. Yeah, and then overclock's not right for other programs. So if you forget to take your overclock off and you start gaming, your driver's going to shit the bed too.
I was always really good at making sure it was on the right profile.
Nice.
That being said, I can also test to make sure everything's actually working properly, because I know the exact programs that can actually
trigger it.
Trigger the crash. Not even the crash, just the instability to cause said crash.
Right.
I know the exact 3 programs it does it in.
All right, so we know how to get it to do it, and now that I've got it on Linux, it's been running good for 2.5 hours now, no issues. So, yeah. And then Bretton's like, was he, as he was running Windows, could it be daily updates? You could check that, lots of possibilities. It shouldn't even if it was like a bunch of updates running in the background, it shouldn't do that for 2 years. So he's been fighting this problem for 2 years, and I'm thinking it's really, at the end of the day, it's a driver issue. That's just me. I mean, considering I have it hashing away behind me, right behind me. So, without any further ado, I think we're going to crack this bad boy open, do some of the maintenance that's required on these things. Considering it's been 3-4 years and it's never been maintenance. So I'm expecting to see dried up thermal pads. I should see the world's hardest thermal paste. World's hardest. This shit should come off in chunks, like I'm flaking off like chunks of concrete. That's how hard this stuff should be. I'm just saying. Nefarious is like definitely a driver issue. And everything just kind of points to a driver issue. So, DDU the fucker, and happy hashing. Just saying. So, without any further ado, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to power this rig off, and I'm going to pull this card off of there and see what's behind the cooler. Hopefully I won't have to clean it too much. Now, our mother smokes cigarettes, so this thing has been in a smoky environment. So I'm actually wondering what's underneath, dirt-wise, that would have stuck onto it because of tar. Anybody who's smoking around their rigs, you're going to have to clean your rigs more often. I'm just saying, because tar gets everywhere, and that stuff sticks the most finite dust to it. So let's see how bad this bad boy is. So I'm going to go ahead and power this off. Shut down. Confirm. There we go. Turn the heat back on. What the fuck? Turn the right way. All right, so this is his GPU. EVGA 1070, just a regular super clock, single 8-pin. I've actually got 2 of these, so these are not bad of a card. Backplate exposed. It does have its typical little oil stain spots that I see all PCBs doing. They kind of sweat in the areas where they get hot. I don't think it's a pad thing. I think it's a PCB thing, because like right here, there's a stain right here above my finger, and there is no thermal pad near this. It's an exposed backplate. How do you get oil near the center of the board? That means that whatever it is either coming out of the components themselves, or I would more likely think that it's leaking out of the PCB itself. So now for a card that's been, not in a room where somebody smokes, but in an environment that has somebody smoking. I'm going to go ahead and turn that rig back on, let it hash with the rest of the cards. Considering all I have to do is just pull this off, the rest of the rig is mine, so I'm not worried about that. The cooler fins themselves, looking through it, are fairly clean. It's got a little itty bitty amount of buildup around the fans themselves. Not too bad. How often do you clean this?
Every 6 or so months.
So every 6 or so months, he takes a vacuum cleaner to this. I mean, it definitely shows a little bit of dirt on here, but overall, not bad for what I would consider being in a smoker's environment. So let's go ahead and start taking this bad boy apart. Give you that, look at that sexy overhead view of my Rebel T7 high definition camera. Let's go ahead and tighten up my view angle just a little bit here. Trying to give you guys the best possible view that I can give. All right, bam. So, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my toolkit and start pulling out all the bazillion screws that are on this thing holding the cooler down. I do not think I don't have to take any of the screws off of this. None of that is attached into the cooler. Nope, none of it is. So awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and now you can kind of see, like, it's got like a little bit of dust around the edges. You can see it like right in here. A little bit of dust there. Not bad at all. Not bad. So let's take apart the business end. I'm expecting to see that we're gonna be definitely pulling and getting new thermal paste on here, but let's see the condition of the pads. Are they rock hard? Do they break apart when you lift the cooler? They split up. I got to replace them. Not an issue. I've got enough pads down below. So let's go ahead and dig on in. And I'm thinking I'm going to leave these screws to be last because that separates the cooler itself. Yeah, cool. Everything seems to be the same size screw, at least for bit-wise. And you guys know I like to put the screws in line of how I pull them out of the back plate. Set stand up. Alright, so I'm going to take these apart as perimeter screws and then the interiors. So I'm going to put these into two different piles. A bazillion screws, good God. Yeah, it could be flux. I'll take these 4 smaller screws out from around the cooler. Because you can never have enough organization just in case any of these screws are ever different. right, so, and then always be careful when you're separating. There's always like random wires and stuff like that, so kind of inspect and take a look around, see where your wires are before you crack it. Wow, that was the easiest pull apart I've ever had. And here, let me see if I can crack it. Probably a little easier on this side, and then I can pull it up over here. Just trying to get this one. Man, I want to pull the wire out. There we go. Without pulling the wire apart. Oh, that's nasty. It's pretty dirty down at the PCB level. The cooler's got 3 heat pipes in it, which isn't too bad. Pretty thick heat pipes at that. Copper cold plate, world's hardest thermal paste as it fell apart when I pulled it. And oh wow. So we've got bad contact pattern. So if you see right above my finger when I tilt this around, there we go. Right above my fingernail. That is a clean spot that's on here. And when you correlate it on the cold plate, it's actually a little light. It's like there's a little thermal coverage, but almost nothing there. So this thing might have had a little bad coverage too on the PCB side. Damn. Alright, and I've got to take up one screw left. I did not realize was also in. There we go. Wow, those are some oily thermal pads. Holy cow. You want to see what I'm talking about with oil?
It is just dripping.
Yep. So you're going to get a little better performance out of this overall, because we know when we game, we beat the hell out of our stuff. So we're going to go ahead. I'm like, that is absolutely disgusting. I'm like, it's wet. Oh God, that's disgusting. That's really nasty. Oh God. The PCB is absolutely saturated too. So everything here, you can see the sweat stain all over this. This is all like thermal pad oil. I was not expecting to see it being so moist.
Now, could this oil be possibly conductive?
No, the oil is non-conductive. So we're gonna go ahead and start like wiping up the oil off of here. We're gonna go ahead and replace all the thermal pads. This thing is gonna be really nice when I get done. Nice, nice. That's cool. You used to make PCBs. That's really cool, John. Too funny, nefarious. And what's weird is that they don't really put anything conductive. I mean, not conductive, but anything that will touch the cooler from the back side of this. Now, I just want to sit here and see why they would choose to do that. Oh, okay. So there's not enough room in here to do that. Oh, that's wild. So they're hoping that the mere fact that this thing is in contact with no thermal interface in between will be enough to pass the heat. Wow.
What they're thinking that's supposed to act as a backplate?
Your memory modules are underneath this. I mean, it's aluminum, but still.
Still needs sufficient contact.
I'm just kind of a little on the curious side to see if I can see any kind of space in between this. Wow, they really didn't put much room. This isn't even touching fully. So EVGA did not let that little inner plate touch the radiator. There's like
And now you know why.
a paper thin.
Now you know why EVGA went and redesigned the coolers for the 10 series entirely. That's
Yeah,
where
because
ICX
my-
comes from.
My
It's
10
this issue.
Yeah, my 1070, my EVGAs have a thermal pad in between. Because I think mine are the Super Clock 2s or whatever.
There are versions that were released post ICX, like whole debacle with EVGA.
Yeah, wow.
Because they had issues with their early ACX coolers on this series.
Yeah, I could see why.
Yeah, that's why ICX is a thing. More sensors on there, more thermal contacts. That was
Right.
the whole thing behind that cooler.
And if you ever have a little business card, best thing to use is scrape. You're gonna get the initial lift up of the nasty, dried on, crusty garbage. And it gets it the job done pretty well. And then I like to take like a little microfiber. To get the rest of it up. Bam. Now it's nice and shiny. And I'll do the same thing with the cooler. Just get it up underneath there, and you see how easy it just pulls that up. And then you're left with a little bit of schmutz on there. I'll get that up with a little bit of the rag, and then microfiber this thing. Now I think I also want to do is take my vacuum cleaner and blow the other direction on this cooler, and see how much stuff I can get released up out of here. So, give me one moment. Oh, I did not think about this. And then whenever I'm doing this too, I tend to hold on to the fan blades. You don't want to just let them spool up with your vacuum cleaner. And I will be really nice to you guys, and I'm going to mute my mic. Alright, now she's nice and clean now. Now I can see through the radiator really nicely. Yes. Das is good. Alright, and go ahead and clean my little business card up here. Get another little towel. Always make sure, don't forget to bring a towel. Alright, so now that we got all this stuff nice and clean, now we can prep the plate for the memory modules really quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right there. Get this ready here. Now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to grab my box of Goodies Blue. And we'll go ahead and grab the basic stuff. We don't need anything fancy like the -8s. This stuff has always worked with my blues, so I'm not gonna steer away from what I know is tried and true. So I'm gonna have to do this long one in 2 pieces, not a problem. So there's a side that's just perfect. Yeah. Oh, and what did I do with my scissors? Here they are. All right. Right. Alright, make sure where you land on there that you're going to fit the way I want you to. Okay. So, yes, you shall fit the way I want. I'm just trim and pinch it off just like that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start lifting this nasty oily thing. Oh, that's disgusting. Alright, so this was done in 2 pieces also. So I'm doing it just like the manufacturer did. That is some oily garbage. Wow. This is like the worst oil bomb I've ever that I've experienced. I'm using I'm using 1mm pads, and I'm probably gonna have to double it up. Oop. How if I slid it down all the way? If somebody tries to call me at the most inopportune time, he's gonna have to wait. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do another piece because these are obviously, yeah, these are, it's gonna be 2mm. No problem. I have no problem doubling these up a little bit if necessary. Oh, get off my fingers, you staticky little thing. Now you get the FU button. Well, I'm busy. Go away. Oh my god. Dude, I'm live streaming. Hello? Hey, I'm live streaming right now. Yeah, that's why you've been getting the FU button. I'll give you a holler whenever I'm done. Sure, what? Oh, on your Trailblazer? Oh, nice. Crank it back up and crank it up really, get it like kind of tight, and then drop it back down and just start fucking shaking the shit out of it. If not, the assembly is froze up on you, and you're shit out of luck. You're gonna have to cut that down. Yeah, there's a mechanism in there that's like a safety catch, and they like to break. Or they freeze up because it never gets used. I don't know, man. Yeah, that it like either crank it back up and see if you can crank it up and let it down, crank it up, and maybe you can get it to break free. And then, like, if when you're dropping it down, I mean, shake the shit out of it, kick it, whatever. Yep. All right, dude. Yeah, I like. Yeah, spare tire issues. If anybody knows about the GM tires, man, you should also know that they have small problem. Not like bad or anything. This one I don't think is going to be... Well, I guess it'll work. Oh God, these pads are just so damn oily. But bam. And then those are long enough, so now I gotta grab another pack. Oop, don't drop. Oh, and then you don't rip. Thanks. Oh, now you don't want to rip properly. Dick. Me and my big little, my big sheets over here. That's so disgusting. Go. Awesome. We'll just do you there. Just to kind of use you up, get you out of the way here. Yeah, he spent the night over here, Nefarious.
I know very well how comfortable this thing is.
Well, Nefarious knows all about that because we camped out at Micro Center all night. And he came over here. He's like, I can't drive home, dude. I'm like, you're more than welcome to pass out here for a little bit. I'd rather have you pass out here and be safe. Hey, if you see a comment, man, you're more than welcome to just blurt.
I'm already in right now.
No, I'm saying you can blurt on the mic, too. Alright, but bam. The fucking oil. This is like the worst oil job I've ever seen, dude.
Honestly, I have seen my share of freaking oozed oil on PCBs. That looks like it was just dipped in it.
Yeah.
Did that all just come straight from the freaking thermal pads?
Yep.
What the fuck?
It's silicon juice. Jizz. What's up, Ninja? Just doing some of that video card maintenance. It's one of the worst ones I have seen yet. Bam. And I got one more to go. Oh, okay. I'm just going to cut you out like this. Since it looks like that will work. Oh yeah. So I'll just make another one and we'll use you as a template. Just like that. Put all this other ones away. Oh, Nefarious says his wife says hi to you.
Tell her it's the hi.
She says hi back. Perfect. All right. Cool. So now we can start some of the assembly process on this bad boy, which is putting this bracket back on. go ahead and screw everything back in place. So let's start with the center bracket here. I can sit here and start these screws really quick. I got the world's shaky hands today. Wow. All right. Now, I'm not tightening these down yet because I got a bunch of screws to go through to get this plate back on. I want to be able to shift this around if needed. And all of these screws seem to be the same, so I'm not so worried about where I put them. Alright, now I can tighten down this cooler bracket. Doesn't have to be Herculean strength. Alright. So now I know I'm smashed down really nicely. I don't know how well my camera is going to show this, but the standoffs are touching the PCB everywhere. Not there. This one goes to touch tight. Oh, I must have missed that screw. Thank God I'm like looking everything over. Now you're going to make me want to go through and double check everything. It's almost like you smash the pads and then it's settled a little bit, and then I can tighten a couple of them down a little more. You guys. Oh yeah, it's like just a pinch of a twist. There we go. Now is everything touching the way you're supposed to be? Yes. Excellent. So now everything looks really good. Nothing is bowing out. Oh yeah, that's great coverage. I like that. That is amazing. I'm going to take my little microfiber cloth here. I'm going to wipe the chip down just a little bit more. I'm going to wipe some of this oil down. Now I'm not going after this one because this is just a rubber pad. There's really nothing to this piece here. This just stops any kind of like vibration from the cooler touching onto here. A little more wipe down there. Alright, and give them some of that awesome stuff up here that's non-conductive, the MX4 from Arctic. And there's no such thing as putting too much on. It's too you can put too thick of thermal pads on and it won't seat all the way. So that's something you got to be careful of. All right, so the fun part, I got to now hook in all the cables onto this. So this top one is the LED. This bottom one here is the fan header. I'm trying to do this without touching the cooler. I kept the gap in it the whole time because I don't want to set the cooler down onto this until I know everything is square. And I can't see enough to tell here. You got to be kidding me, right? There we go. There we go. Now it's set. All right, and that's everything. Back together. Give it the panda flick. Yo. All right, so let's get it back up on the rig and make sure the temperatures don't get out of control. Because if the temperatures get out of control, or I got less hash rate on there, I know either the pads are not good enough, or if the temp on it just goes up, then I know the thermal paste, because like I had to kind of play with the cooler a little bit to get it to sit down, so I might have wiped a portion of the die clean. You never know until you see it remounted and you panda flick for the win. Bink. So sometimes if you move it around a little bit on there, it'll won't lay the thermal paste out properly. So the best thing I do is just make sure that it's all on there properly. And then he will be good to go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and power down this rig here. Confirm. Alright.
This for you.
Before you do that, always be safe around your equipment. Make sure that you always got this thing tightened down. Like you do. Do the honors, bro. Alright. We got fan spin, we got LEDs turning on, so I got everything plugged in. Awesome, awesome. Nice, Golden Wolf. And every once in a while, Hive won't load right. Hive hung up just a moment there. Yeah, that's better already. Looks like we're up. Yep, it's getting there. Anytime. There you go. Kind of funny, the 1070 idles at 35 watts. Let's see how this is going. It's generating that DAG file there. Look at that. $272.55 mega hash now. Look at that. Let's pay attention to the temperatures on this now. Yep, we are mining away. It certainly did not help with the hash rate, but I'm using CUDA 11 drivers instead of CUDA 10 for the 1070, so that will affect hash rate. And it's a non-TI edition, so there is that too. The mem temp on my 3090, I'm not sure. This doesn't give me temperature like that. I just get overall temp, so the VGA core is running at 53C. And I've got a Delta fan on the back side of my 3090 so that the thing stays nice and cool. And it's slowly climbing up in temperature. Let's see where this thing decides to live life at. I might not have solved any heat issue because there might not have really have been a significant heat issue with this thing at all. Like I said, I'm just doing just general maintenance on this GPU. So it's 4 degrees Celsius cooler.
So far, we'll see it in like an hour. To be fair, anything you put in there that's aftermarket is always going to be better than the freaking stock Tim they just had put there.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Oop, 53C. But it might not even have any real significant difference.
Yeah.
It might not have changed much. Oh, nice. You put like the almost like the Raspberry Pi aluminum heat sinks on there with a 120 millimeter fan. That's cool.
I do know with the way this card would temp up when I was mining, it never maxed out above like 56. It was a fairly light card, even in Windows.
Whoa, 84 degrees Celsius, 84C on the VMem. That's a little hot. I mean, it's not like it can't run like that, but that's a little hot. New AMD drivers dropped this week. Not that I really need them for sure. Yeah, I mean, you can run your mem up to 110C, but if you can keep the mem around 45 to 50C, it runs better. All right, you're 3 degrees Celsius cooler now.
It's only been hashing for like 20 minutes.
No,
Not even.
6 minutes. It's been going for 6 whole minutes.
I still expect to live about 54.
Sure, Breton. Yeah. I'll hop into voice chat after stream. Yeah, I'm on the fence of getting like a water block for mine, or just selling my 3090. I'm not sure yet.
Still memory cooling issues, even get a water block for it.
Yeah. Well, they've got the active front and back water block now.
We'll see if that works.
And I'm curious to see.
But the fact that you have to do that at all is kind of like, why?
I'll hop into the I'll hop into the Family Mine chat. If you're not in the Family Mine, I got links down below for the Family Mine Discord. Golden Wolf, he's like, I would gladly trade it for 3 3060 Ti's. Oh yeah, 3, maybe 4. Yeah, but I would definitely take 330 Ti, 3060 Ti's for sure. You don't get my notifications? Well, check to see if YouTube turned off the bell notification for you. Or if they didn't, make sure it's clicked to all. And for anybody that's new around here, all that good stuff, you know, smash that lizardy like button, subscribe, make sure you hit the bell notification. It's turned on to everything. YouTube be censoring all of us crypto content makers as of lately. They don't believe in free speech. You just need a 12 gig card for your normal gaming. You know, I even say that that's debatable too. I don't know if you need 12 gigabytes of VRAM on there.
Gaming, it depends entirely at the resolution you're running at and any other extra things you're running with the game.
Right, but you're going to see more of an impact if, like, you're a VR gamer. You're going to see way more of an impact because most games aren't going to utilize more than between 8 to 10 gigs of VRAM. State, you actually missed it. This is my brother, and I was cleaning his EVGA 1070 non-TI superclock and re-thermal padding on. Oh, you run a 22 emulator? I'm not sure what the overhead is on that. Not sure what the overhead is on the emulators. So his EVGA was super oily. The thermal pads were leaking everywhere. So the emulator is more hardcore on the VRAM. Things I don't run, I don't know about. Yeah, I mean, but normal game-wise, you're not going to need that. I mean, 8 gigabytes is perfect. Even with my 1080 Ti that I have, it's got 11 gigabytes of VRAM on there, and I've never maxed it out, ever. So, and I do some pretty, demanding titles, too. I mean, I don't have Cyberpunk 2077, but I do Dirt 4, Dirt 2.0. Those are fast-paced games that's got to basically render, have a good render and draw rate on it. So, yeah. Other than that, it's like, I have, all the rest of the games. You can run them on 1060s, no problem. Uses more than 8. See, I wonder if like an 8 gig, a 10 gigabyte VRAM, which would be the 3080, if that would be fine. Or do you want to do the the 6800 or the 6800 XT with their 16 gigs. But AMD is more of like your workstation card. So if you're doing a lot of stuff that's a lot of rendering and stuff, you know, AMD will be perfect. If you need something to be fast paced, just throw brute force at it. That'll be the NVIDIA's. Yeah, they are hard to get your hands on, Golden Wolf. Very, very hard to get your hands on. I've been blessed to be able to get my hands on a couple of the 3080s. I've got 3. But yeah, they are a bitch to get. Oh damn. You're getting 100 frames per second on a laptop. That's not bad. Yeah, if you can do it with budget friendly gear, that's always the best way to go, for sure. All right, so we shaved off effectively 3C off your card. So there's no reason why your card should be there is no thermal throttling issue. There is no crashing issue.
We'll punch DDU on it and see what happens afterwards.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to DDU him and all that good stuff. So anybody got any comments or questions? Now is the time. And if you guys missed it from earlier, I saw a few of you talking about it. We got up to 49,745 today, so we have hit a new all-time high. But if you look at some of the buy and sell walls, bam, that's what I was supposed to do. So we've got 49,745 was the all-time high for today. At about 50K, there is some significant selling pressure, guys. So if you guys are wanting the dollar cost average, be careful as it goes up. Be ready to potentially, not telling you what to do, but you might be potentially selling off some of your crypto as it's coming back down, just to kind of lock in the Satoshis that you have. Or the dollar amount, so that when it drops and you can buy back in, you'll get some more Satoshis than you started with. That's how traders are doing it. Some of them just do it with some leverage behind them because they're gambling at the end of the day. Yeah. Nefarious is like, yeah, DDU all that bad driver junk out of there. State, that's a dual-edged sword. So the vapor chamber versus the heat pipes. Now, what I like about the vapor chamber is that if they take their time, they can lap that thing nice and flat and have a better contact patch. But the heat, they're still putting heat pipes behind all of that. So,
Heck, some designers are even integrating the heat pipes into the vapor chamber itself.
right.
So
exactly.
they're not completely exclusive. They can go hand in hand in helping with cooling.
Right, but you're not eliminating heat pipes when you have a vapor chamber. The heat pipes are still there.
You still need to send the heat somewhere to get blown away.
Right, and they know that the heat pipes, you can spread out the heat to the cooler more effectively. But on the other hand, you know, if you mill the heat pipes flat enough, you know, you're putting in thermal paste on there, are you going to see a huge performance difference? Probably not. You'll see a better performance difference if you put a water block on there, of course. You've got a better thermal interface going on, and then that's all being cooled by a radiator. But even then, if you're mining on a water block, you're going to hit peak temperature, and it's just going to maintain there. Are you going to be dramatically different than being an air cool? You could, in the right circumstances, you'll be like, oh my god, that's night and day difference. But for the most part, your difference is real nominal. That's why you don't see water blocking GPUs being all that popular. It's more for enthusiasts or people who have a bunch of money to be putting that down. The only time I see an exception on that rule is like with this 3090, where it desperately needs a better cooling solution than what the GPU manufacturers designed it with. Yeah, that is true, Golden. I understand that one. It's a little scary the first time you put a little trade out. I don't really trade myself. What I end up doing is I'll sell at certain points, knowing that it's about to correct, and then when it corrects, I buy back in. We have Jay, the weatherman from DCA Adventure, the other channel that I'm a part of, and he knows how to read the charts a little bit better than me. He actively trades a lot more than I do. Nefarious also trades a little bit too, and you guys can find them both chilling out in the DCA Discord. Links down below. Um, 3080s, I don't know how much they would really benefit from it. Enough to sit there and say that it makes it worth water blocking. If you're an extreme overclocker for like playing video games and you want to do extreme overclocking where you're not power limiting, sure. But 3080s for mining wise, you're already power limiting them, so you're not dealing with all the thermals like you would on the 3090. The 3090, as soon as you power limit it, you kill performance immediately. That is funny, Nefarious. Think it's hysterical that Micro Center sells the 3080 water block for the Strix, but they never have the 3080 Strix in stock. That is comical, I will admit. So does anybody have any other comments or questions before I head up out of here, guys? Any questions whatsoever before I leave? Yeah, no EVGA water blocks, but they always have EVGAs in. Yeah, that is funny. But it's what's available. I mean, if we're having issues trying to... same to you, Rob. Same to you. Happy Valentine's Day. So, yeah. Oh, the E3s are hashing nicely. It's kind of funny, but they've been averaging about 460 megahash a second on ETC. Yes, they are, my man. E3s are running very profitably right now. Considering that I'm putting down almost 500 megahash between the two E3s that I have, which, depending on your electric, depends on how profitable you are in the long run. Breton's like, Nefarious and me, talking about me, Meet up at Westmont this week. I don't know. I don't know. State, you also gotta, I kind of look at it from poolside and see what the average is. I can, hold on here. I'm not gonna show personal information. Oh wow, it's at a low point right now. Haha, that's hilarious. So it looks like the average hash rate really fluctuates on ETC. I actually haven't been paying attention to this. This is interesting. So as of right now, it's showing 387 mega hash average. One's getting 199. Earlier this morning when I looked at it, this one was getting 220 mega hash on average. And this other one was getting 248 mega hash. Which, yeah, that is wild how much this, like, the average hash rate, like, fluctuates. That is insane. Well, there's that. ETC, these things, like, are all over the place. That is crazy. Wonder if the firmware I'm using has ant bleed. That would suck. Yes, State. I'm using the 2Miner software. Yeah, they've been limiting everybody, Breton. It's kind of irritating. I know how irritating it's got to be for Nefarious too. Yeah, for sure, State. Yeah, I've blocked too. I'm like, do I put this onto solo mine and see if I can solo mine? Rob, you got to know which day to go down there. I say I have a 95% chance of getting cards whenever I go. Oh my God, Golden, you are in the same boat as my buddy Crypto McKell. The closest one to him is a 6.5 hour drive in one direction. So does anybody got any kind of questions before I head up out of here? Anybody at all? Any questions? Otherwise, I'm bouncing. One snowmobile movie. I actually, my sled broke down. The oil pump on it decided to stop pumping, and I roached a piston. So I've got a new piston. I've got a new jug. So I've got to put all that back together now, and go from there. And hopefully I'll be able to get everything up and running, and then maybe get some snowmobile footage. So everybody put an FA in the chat. Get that awesome FA going in the chat, because you guys are all fucking awesome. And put an FA in the chat for my little brother here. Yo. Spam that FA channel. Chat. FA, there we go. Because Crypto and Hot Rods is rated F for fucking awesome. Nobody I know has a good drone. Otherwise, I would do that, Gundy. So, as I head up out of here, guys, definitely smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, double check to make sure the bell notification is pressed so that you guys know whenever I'm dropping new videos. And, yeah, boo. Yeah, I need drone. Need drone. Maybe that could be one of the things that I buy whenever I get my Patreon started and you guys start joining the Patreons. I might be able to buy some cool stuff. DCA into it. And then during the summer, do like hot rod stuff and mining and go to car shows and stuff like that if we're allowed to. I'll do it. I will. I'll go live because I can now. Brenton's like, I got a 1080p drone. Nice. Very nice. And then Gundy's got the 4K Mini. That thing's pretty cool. You got some sick video footage with that thing. Of you on vacay. That was awesome. Good times, good times. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I like burning some rubber, especially in my 74 Chevelle. I love laying patches of rubber down with that thing. It's so fun. I get into that car and I feel like a kid. So since nobody's got any other comments or questions, I will definitely see you all on the next one. Yo. Hells yeah, Rob. For sure. Peace out, everybody. Laters. I need some Japanese in my life. Well, I mean, I've had a few of my fair share of Japanese cars. Chinese, Japanese. I mean, I had a Nissan Datsun Daihatsu. Let's see here. I've had Toyotas. The '99 limited edition Supra. So I've had my Asian cars, and I learned how to drift pretty good. Probably not as good as I used to be, because it's been a hot minute since I've done some drifting. But Supra. So with that, guys, before I start talking hot rod, and I'm here for another hour. So guys, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.